It's a Wrap is brought to you by Pay Today. Simple, safe, social. Powered by Nedbank. There is no justice. There's just us. And as human beings, we're just not showing much humanity. Mara, why are we like this? I think we have allowed men to run things for far too long. Just look at what we've done to the world we live in. Thank you for joining me for this episode of It's a Wrap, the show in which we dissect the human condition and take a look at all the nonsense that we perpetrate and condone. Now, last weekend, some Windhoekers were jailed for a number of offences, so much so that there were reports of overcrowding. Now, as a taxpayer, I expect that, God forbid, but should I find myself in jail one day, I expect to have a decent bed, food, But for many Namibian prisoners, jail is hell on earth. How do you heal and change yourself in hell? A Namibian farmer, Kai Rust, was released on bail this week after being incarcerated for shooting a suspected poacher on his farm. He languished in jail for almost 2 years before getting bail, a Namibian citizen. We spoke to the LAC's Karina van Wyk about what prisoners endure.
Obviously, nobody likes to be caged in a place. Obviously, your right of free movement have been taken away from you for obvious reasons. But on top of that, people also expect prisoners to now, lose all their rights. Their right to dignity, in other words, to their facilities of toilets and bathrooms and privacy, your right to food, proper food, your right to medication, health, all those general basic requirements for you to stay alive. I haven't been to the prisons in a long, long time. Most of the candidates or the legal practitioners working in my unit would go. We do get a lot of cases, written correspondences from the inmates. Some are complaining about possible prescriptions that aren't being given to them, like food prescriptions. Maybe they're ill and they need specific foods because of high blood pressure or whatever the case may be. We do get those. We also get, for instance, people that are HIV positive that need their ARVs and don't get their ARVs on time. So yes, those are kind of concerns that we get. I won't say on a daily basis anymore. It has improved, but like I said, there's always room for improvement in terms of the facilities and all that. I did have a correspondence with the commissioner, centrally located, and yeah, we are looking at these issues and dealing with possible human rights trainings. Not just for the inmates, but for the officers and officials, because sometimes they're not aware of the human rights violations that are actually taking place. Because, like I said, people have got this idea that because you've gone to prison, because you're guilty of committing a crime, all your rights should be taken away. And it's not really the case. Your right to free movement has been taken away, but your right to dignity hasn't.
What is interesting to note are the varying responses to the news about Kai Rust's third and final bail hearing. Here's some of what people posted. Sam wrote, "The man who shot a person saying he was shooting a dog on his father's farm is out on bail of 40,000 Namibian dollars. In Namibia, as long as you have money, you are above the law." Emil responded with, "I know of a black guy murder accused who is out on bail of 3,000 Namibian dollars." Whilst Nado posted, "Why is it a big issue for crime is white on black? This guy at least got bail of 40k. I know about black scoundrels out on bail on 2 murder charges and still committing the same crime." It is clear that there is much needed to be done in our justice system. I mean, some of our laws are so outdated, they don't even make sense in a modern society. Many Namibians believe that without money, you cannot get justice. A recent newspaper report also highlighted the plight of a man from the DRC who has languished in jail for some 9 years, patiently waiting for justice.
I don't know the facts of the Congolese guy. What I do know is that he does have the right to representation. And what I do know is he has all the rights under the Constitution that everybody else has to a fair trial. And it should be given to him. Obviously, him not residing in Namibia, not being a resident here, not working here, not having a family here, obviously makes him subject to avoiding being judged or sentenced or even trial, going to a trial, because he will elope. It's just what's going to happen.
And this while a suspected Chinese rhino smuggler skipped bail after paying 300,000 Namibian dollars.
Obviously, if you apply the law black and white to say these are the conditions you'll get bail, these are the conditions you will not get bail, then the same should apply or should have applied to the Chinese person. I mean, I don't know, like I said, the facts behind all of it and whether, there's an agreement somewhere somehow for him to return. Guaranteed, I don't know. But what I do know is that the law says you're entitled to bail if you're, first offender, if you won't abscond, if you won't interfere with witnesses, the whole conditions thing. So if the magistrate, and in this case the High Court, whoever you appear before, to hear an application for bail, has to apply their mind and has to apply what the law says.
Moving money should be easy. So we created Pay Today. Pay Today is a proudly Namibian app that makes sending money to your friends social and fun. It's completely free of charge and comes with world-class security. Forget cash. Pay anyone directly to their bank account. All you need is their mobile number or email address. With Pay Today, you can pay money to or request money from any of your friends. So the money you owe Joseph for yesterday's coffee is now settled. And the bill you picked up when Chris, Amy and Steven went out for movies and dinner? Simple little request, and boom, into your account. Available free of charge on iOS and Android. Pay Today. Simple, safe, social.
Last week, we reported on the plundering of rosewood trees in the Caprivi, which some government officials are literally beating around the bush over.
In Zambia, for example, they're paying like $10 a tree, and they collect anything up to $44,000 per tree that they then deliver on the other side. I mean, of course, there's a lot of cost involved in between, but still, the profit margins are such that it's massive. And it's that profit margin that's basically driving the whole speculation, because it started off slowly. We started seeing timber coming out of Angola, Kwandu-Kubangu province, and then suddenly there was a massive stream of wood coming out of Zambia. Zambia had, in fact, banned the cutting down of mukula. But what's happened then is that they started chopping down the trees and then taking the raw logs into the DRC, where they would then cut it square so as to fit into a container. Then they pack the containers with that, then they seal the containers that side. And then they bring it out and say, oh no, we're not allowed to open this because it's sealed already. So, they thought they would get around that. How the DRC can allow for the cutting down of mukula or rosewood bloodwood is just beyond me, because they are taking millions of dollars per year from the UN to combat deforestation. We have illegal logging going on in Namibia, in Katima Farm, all in the guise of debushing for a tobacco farm, that the Minister of Land Reform somehow has made his business. Why the Minister of Land Reform is involved in a purely agricultural project, I don't understand it. What is Matowa there for? What exactly is the Land Reform Minister's function? But there are allegations that I intend to investigate now to get closer to the truth. But there appears to be a beneficial financial link between the parties involved. And that's what I need to get to the bottom of now.
We asked the Ministry of Environment's PRO to speak to us about this last week, and he quickly referred us to the Agriculture Ministry.
It is actually true that there is a operation there, harvesting operation of forest resources. What actually happened is that sometime last year, our ministry called for public tender for anyone who's able to debush and clear the area which is actually set aside for green scheme at that farm outside Katima. And one company actually was officially awarded the tender to debush the area. And since in that area there are some commercial valuable trees, which is also listed as some of the protected species, because they are worthy some amount of money. We actually advised that if this timber is to be harvested and to be cleared, it must be actually taken at cost, meaning that whoever may want that tree, they should pay some money to the state. And then the company, which is actually doing the debushing work, applied for that permit, and they were given a permit, and they paid some money for those trees. Yeah, and that company is one of the local companies which were given that right to harvest and utilize those logs. However, it turned out that I think the company also entered into agreement with other company, which you are referring to as a Chinese company here, but we may not be able to dictate to the company which is given a tender to say you may not enter into any agreement with any other person apart from just you yourself.
We then managed to track down the Environment Ministry's Romeo Muyanda, who then informed us that the company was in fact not given a clearance certificate to chop down any trees.
The Ministry of Environment and Tourism issued an environmental impact assessment or certificate to the Zambezi, not Zambezi, but Katima farm. There have been reports of people cutting down trees in the same area of the farm, or in the vicinities of the farm. That is not sanctioned by the ministry, and for the purpose of the environmental impact assessment that we have issued, the only place that is supposed to be cleared is the place or the area where the farm is supposed to be established. And further than that, if there is any plundering of trees, it's not sanctioned by the ministry. If people are cutting down trees in an area that an environmental impact certificate was not issued, people should adhere and apply for impact assessment before they'll be issued with a compliance order to do that.
Seeing as we had Romeo in our clutches, we used the opportunity to ask him about the sudden increase in cases of rhino poaching and whether he thinks that the laws are punitive enough with the sudden disappearance of one of the Chinese accused nationals in the rhino smuggling case.
The rhino situation in the country is concerning for the Ministry of Environment and Tourism. Both the rhino and elephant poaching is a serious concern, and of course the Ministry of Environment and Tourism continues to put in measures so that we will reduce elephant and rhino killings in the country. Actually, we have a number of initiatives that we have put in place. We don't want to solve poaching in isolation, and we know that, and we recognize that we can never do that. Mm-hmm. We have called in relevant stakeholders such as the Namibian police as well as the Namibian Defence Force to come and join hands with us, especially in ensuring that there is enough to patrol our areas. And apart from that, we have also called in NGOs, private sectors. So the most important one is that collaboration that we are opening for everybody, and where we have called in also the public to come and assist us. ministry in itself is at an advanced stage in the formulation of the common anti-poaching unit, where we are going to have an extra of about 458 staff members who will be dedicated to anti-poaching only. We are now also utilizing area patrols. If you remember last year, we bought a helicopter. That helicopter is being utilized to its full potential.
Moving money should be easy. So we created Pay Today. Pay Today is a proudly Namibian app that makes sending money to your friends social and fun. It's completely free of charge and comes with world-class security. Forget cash. Pay anyone directly to their bank account. All you need is their mobile number or email address. With Pay Today, you can pay money to or request money from any of your friends. So the money you owe Joseph for yesterday's coffee is now settled. And the bill you picked up when Chris, Amy and Steven went out for movies and dinner? Simple little request, and boom, into your account. Available free of charge on iOS and Android. Pay Today. Simple, safe, social.
The increase in the number of cases of rape in this country really breaks my heart. Why are you like this?
In Opua, a 2-year-old girl was allegedly raped by a 30-year-old suspect. The girl reportedly screamed in the morning hours of 2nd July, and when the family members went to go investigate, the suspect was apparently found on top of her.
Nana region, Opua, the rape. Namibian male was yesterday arrested in connection with the rape of a 2-year-old female toddler. It is alleged that on the 2nd, during the morning hours at Ombadu village, the victim was left sleeping with the suspect, who is said to be 30 years old, in the same room. When everybody else has woken up and was outside, it is further alleged that they heard the baby screaming, and when the family member went inside to investigate, that is when the suspect was allegedly found on top of the toddler.
In the Oangwena region, a woman was allegedly raped in the bushes by an unknown suspect. It is alleged that the victim is physically challenged and that she was on her way to a cooker shop.
We moved to Oangwena region and Nana rape. On the 1st of July 2017, at an unknown time during the night at Onakalunga village in the bushes, a female, age not given, was allegedly raped by an unknown suspect. It is alleged that the victim was coming, who is said to be physically challenged, was on her way from a cooker shop to the mother when the suspect offered the mother to push the wheelchair of the victim. It is alleged that the victim arrived late at home, whereby the mother questioned her as to why she was late at home. It is whereby how the victim narrated to the mother of what happened.
In Inkara's region, a 14-year-old girl was allegedly raped by a 26-year-old suspect.
It's just disgusting and goes to show just how sick this society is. Sis.
I don't understand why is the men's raping small kids. Why? The government must do something about these men raping small kids. A kid of 2 years old, 3, 4, 5, they are little kids. These men who's raping kids, they are destroying the kid's life. When the kid is going to school, he's thinking about the past she was be raped. She doesn't control her life because she's confused of the past she was raped. The government do something. These men, they must not go out of jail because they are raping small kids. This country is full of beautiful women, but they are still going for small kids. I don't understand why are they doing this. If I was in the government, I will lock them in the jail. They won't go out of the jail because they are destroying our small kids, our small future. They have to be the ministers or presidents. Their life is destroyed here by these rapists. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of this rape. 2, 3, 4, 5 years when there's big people to handle with. I'm tired.
On a lighter note, I checked out a new coffee shop in the city centre called Deluxe. And inside, I ran into some friends who were discussing Namibia's hot new app, Pay Today.
Well, it just like links up with your bank account, so it replaces cash and lets you pay your friends.
Yeah, it's like cell phone banking combined with internet banking, just better.
Combined with WhatsApp, because
exactly,
yeah,
that's social.
So it's very social. Like it's sending money on a message.
It makes what I call owing friends money quite convenient, because then all you have to do is just on your app, and then it syncs with your contacts, and you load your bank details on here, and then all you have to do is when you go out with friends, for example, like right now, neither of us have cash. So what I'll do is I'll just pay for this round, and then I just request money from you guys, and then with your app you can just say, hey, I owe Sita like 100 rand, and then you just send it through.
All you need is their telephone number or email address, and it literally takes like not even a minute.
Yeah. For example, here I'm paying Clara, and then I just enter the amount. It's what, 50, and then I add a message like, hey, thanks for the dollar coffee. Hey!
Talking about that app.
Yeah.
Pay today.
I got it too. Got my coffee for $1.
$1? How about that?
Nice.
Cheers. Have a good one.
Bye.
Right, and you can also get a coffee for $1.
Yeah.
How convenient is this app?
And then you add a message, and then you send.
Yeah.
And then I'll get a message straight away. See?
Whoa, that
saying,
was fast.
Suta just paid me $50.
Exactly.
Thanks, Suta.
No more debt.
Nope. No more IOUs.
Yeah, next time I'll buy a coffee for you.
Well, why don't you get it now and stick us for coffee?
Do it now.
I'll do it now.
Perfect.
Deluxe is but one of many exciting little happenings in this little growth spot that we call home. Check out this week's calendar. It gets even better. You can win a dinner for two at the sexy Stellenbosch Wine Bar and Bistro, valued at a whopping 1,000 Namibian dollars if you download this homegrown app within the next 2 hours. If you're slick like that and already have the app, just SMS hashtag #IPayToday to 555 and you can get in on the action. We ain't playing, people. We will bring you weekly prizes worthy of envy from Pay Today. So make sure you have the app and watch It's a Wrap to get some of these here blessings, child. This week on The Shift, I worked at a chicken inn. And you know our people love chicken. Check this out.
We have breakfast. Now, come put on uniform. So this is our chicken inn. As you can see them.
And what time do you start every day?
It's 7.
You finish what time?
It's 4 o'clock. And the night, another shift, you come start at 4 again. Yes. And you wait 2 to 3 minutes. Start with the lettuce. Don't put a lot. Yeah. Then you put on top. I think it's fine. And then outside, yes. So that the wrap must be nice, warm, the custom kids. Take the wrap. It's a wrap.